Awesome. Here we go. This is our first live stream for the Reptile Rejects. So this should be interesting to see how this works and how how well this goes. So today we got Shan on to help us out as we wanted to come out with a show today due to last week's recording having some issues with it. So we still wanted to come out with a show and be a week ahead. So me and Dom will be recording later with Clint Bartley, so that should be a great show later on. But we decided we want to talk about next year's pairings for what we're going to breed. So yeah. All right, Dom. How are you doing right now?
Life is pretty good. I'm pretty good. It's kind of cool being able to do live. We'll see if we even have one person that logs on, considering we told everybody we were going live an hour ago. So if anybody logs on, cool. If not, we can just shoot the shit, talk about what's going up, what we're going to be breeding, and what we're going to be doing, and just chat for a little while. If anybody's curious, the show from last week was with Dr. Whitman. It's amazing. It was a really, really good show, but the lines are off, the talking is off, and it's always, if you start podcasting, you'll notice that if somebody has garbage internet or is on Wi-Fi, it just takes a little bit of crappy internet to ruin the whole podcast. So we're working hard on trying to make it work. So, and by we, I really mean Michael, because I don't do any of that. But Michael, I believe in you. How have you been, Shan? Oh, go, Mike.
Yeah, like Zach was a great guest. It was a great show, and hopefully we can make it work. Or else we'll try to get him on again, maybe for a live, and maybe that'll work a bit better. But yeah, well, we just got to keep moving forward. All right, Shan.
I mean, that's what it's all about, the learning phases and everything we do, right? So I guess this is a learning phase for you guys, right? Maybe ask the guests before you start, like what it takes. Do you ever tell them that you should plug your into your router?
We've never actually requested any of that.
And usually it's not too like for my laptop, I don't plug it in. Like I think for the most part it's fine. I think it could be anything from just being a little far from the router or something, right? I'm sure sometimes our audio might be even a little off, so it's not necessarily the guest's fault. So yeah, I don't know. It's all a learning curve. It sounds like Smitty and Eric have had issues with their own shows in the past. Not too common, but it happens. So you just got to roll with it. And yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be nice if the AI stuff could just sync it back up, but they're not there yet. So
Did you try?
No, well, kinda, but yeah, no. The ways that it was trying to get me to do it, like I tried, and then it just still didn't sync up. So yeah, it sucks. But
what do you mean the stuff that you guys do, like Chat GPT or something, can't do any of that stuff, or what?
I don't know. I'm not a tech person really. So
what? You're the young guy.
Yeah, I don't do technology too well. Like I'm able to figure this out, not too bad, but yeah. Hey, we got two people watching. We got Shan in the chat, so it's good to see you, Shan. We got to see him down at Toronto back in September, which is cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So where do you guys want to start? How about we, Shan? Anything new? Shan. Anything new in your? I don't even know why I called you that. Anything new in your collection in the past week or two? Anything new? I don't even know if he's hearing me. Is he frozen?
Uh-oh. I think he might be frozen.
All right. Well, everybody, that's Shan when he doesn't move and plays statue. I'll talk about myself. We'll see if he comes back on. Shan, if you can hear us, just log off, come back on, and make it work. I guess on my end, I did a really big feeding just last week. Fed everything. I'm really packing on the pounds on everything that I can. Mostly everything eats. I'm planning on feeding only one more time near the end of the month. It's kind of exciting. It's the time of the year that I love because, everything's getting like chunky, and I know I'm nearing the end of like the insane amount of cleaning. Because I don't know if you're like me. Like I feed everything. And then the next day, it's like you go through all the cages and you look to see who doesn't eat. And I'd say like 99% of all the animals eat, but you always got to play the game of find the smell, like finding the one rodent that one animal in all the cages didn't eat, and you're trying to track it down. So we did that. Lots of dirty cages this week because everything's going to the washroom now. And then after that, it's kind of exciting. It's kind of the fun times. Like it's a time of the year where I love. Like everything's just about to be ready to breed. So I'm pretty happy. I've tried to figure out all my pairs. We talked about it real quickly, me and Shan, on the breeding chat, but we can definitely go more into details. How about you, Michael? Anything new? I don't know if you kind of went into it, but anything new this week or?
Uh, Not too much. I got a bunch of Sambos to feed, so about 6 of them took their second meal. So they took live last weekend, and at the end of this week, I decided to try some frozen again with them. And one more took, and then the ones that took live took frozen, so that was nice.
How big
And
are
then
they?
Subox, uh, 4 or 5 inches. Like for
Oh,
Sambos, they're actually a good size. Like I've seen people have way smaller neonates, so the size that they are for Sambos isn't too bad. Like they eat a pinky for sure, so it's not like you're force feeding them anything really. You just kind of have
okay.
to wait for them all to slowly switch over.
So you're about to talk about subox. Every single time you say subox, I got to go on my stupid phone, Google what's a subox. So tell me, it's some kind of a rat snake, right? Like
So
you got
it's
to
a
add.
so it's a Transpecos rat snake, and their scientific name is Bogertophus subocularis.
Okay, so we should
So
have a rule on this podcast. Whenever you use a scientific name, just give the layman's name. Like the people that are
Hey,
less smart than you
agreed.
want to know.
Agreed.
Because you
it's
talk
just
about your colubrids and you go crazy with all your names. I don't know them, man. Like subox.
yeah.
Every time I'm always on my phone. Okay, subox snake. Oh, rat snake. Got it. Keep going. And
Yeah,
that's the one you talk about all the time. Sorry, go ahead.
no worries. Yeah, no, I get that. It's just like the subox is so much easier to say than Transpecos rat snake or uh, Bogertophus subocularis. So it's kind of like that. The shortcut. They have a few other nicknames. Like some people call them. What was it H snakes, bogies, bat snakes? I think there's a few weird nicknames that people have given them, but subox is like the Transpecos or subox.
That's the one I would say.
Are like
Transpeco.
the two go tos.
Transpeco is what I would say.
Yeah, no, they're doing good. I got 3 of them feeding. Got one on live, so I just doubled it up on the live when it finally ate, and then two on frozen. So yeah, they're all staying here, so I'm not really too worried either way. They're not going anywhere unless there's like unless all 4 are males or all 4 are females. They're probably just
Is that an expensive snake? Like 300,
no.
400?
I think they're like I don't know anywhere from like 225 to 300, but they're just normals. Like you get blondes and stuff, and they're not too much more kind of thing. I'm sure they'll talk about it with Clint later because Clint breeds a few subox, although it sounds like he has some troubles keeping them because they're one of those colubrids that's known to be kind of finicky depending on your environment. So some people think you either need to keep like just way more ventilation with them or not that much water with them kind of thing because they might get respiratory stuff. I haven't had any issues, and well, I live in Vancouver where it's fairly humid for a good part of the year. So yeah, I don't know. I just with the tubs and the cages I keep them in, I just put tons of extra ventilation, and then I keep them fairly dry and give them a smaller water bowl kind of thing. And they've been doing pretty good for me so far. But fingers are crossed. Until they make it till they're 15 years old or so, I'm not gonna hold my breath kind of thing. But yeah,
Very nice. How about you, Shan? You back with us? Yeah, there you go. So, what's new in your collection the past 2 weeks? Anything?
Yeah, sorry about that.
With
Yeah, all of a sudden the power cut out. So not a whole lot right now. Just getting ready for breeding season. Probably just another 2 feedings I fed last night. I got a few more to feed, but it's a weekend thing, to feed that many snakes. It's crazy. Things are doing pretty good. Lost a few pygmies. Kind of disappointed, down to the nitty gritty with those, but they're all eating really well. I still can't understand how like one can eat like one day and then 3 days later, I find it dead, and it's been eating like
How many are left?
4. Yeah, but there was 6 of them, and 2 of the ones I can't understand why they've gone. Like I said, they're eating pinkies, doing really well. They look like they were kind of pooping and stuff. Where that's where I thought might have been the issue. So, not digesting, but then brought up the heat. Some other things that I had listened to on podcasts and to bring up the heat to help with the digesting. And I did that, and I've had pretty good success. Anyway, they were eating really well. Like, I've had them eat this early by themselves. I've never had that. So that's like, to me, that's a more than enough success there. But it's figuring out like why all of a sudden they're just going, right? So I'm a little worried with the 4 that I have left. Everything's good there. Apart from that, I'm the king snakes. So the banded kings are doing pretty good. I only have a few that are not eating. The rest of them, once you get them going, it's pretty good. They're pretty easy after that. Still on pinkies there, doing really well. The 9 miles are doing really well. I have that pair. How are your pair doing? Are they still pretty young?
I just have the one
Okay.
female. She's just a juvenile.
Okay.
Still. Yeah. So what have you tried with the alternator? Did they all take like normal pinkies, frozen thawed, or live pretty easily, or did you have to try some other stuff?
So yeah, no, I only tried live pinkies, so pinheads, or frozen thawed. Nothing.
Pinhead mice
Yeah,
or ESS?
pinhead mice. Only mice. Only mice with them. I was able to do that, and that's the only thing I'm giving the pygmies to is the pinheads. So, and they're able to eat it, no problems. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the higher heat, you have to just feed them much more frequently. Because if you're burning them up, they're probably burning through everything. Like, I'm thinking they need to feed every 3 days.
Well,
And I know it's a lot of work,
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking. Every probably 3 to 5 at least, kind of thing, instead of 7. How much are you feeding?
at least I would say a good every 7 days. But I mean, I don't. They're pretty fat and chubby. Like, they're not. They're not skinny, man. They're big snakes. You should see them.
I know, but if you're keeping them at 94 degrees in the hot spot, man, you should give it a shot.
So it's a 90. I'm keeping them at a 92. So not as hot.
92?
Yeah. Because I still got some other snakes in there, right? So I can't. I don't want to go that high, right? Like, I know the carpets probably could take it, but I don't want to do it that high. So, I still have my rack is still pretty full.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you get the inlands started yet?
The inlands are doing pretty good.
What did those guys take to get going?
Whoa. Everything. I've tried everything. Like, they were pretty hard to get going. Even live, like, they just pass up. But I think Brettles are worse than that. Truthfully, the Brettles to me are the worst. Even the live, they just don't even care.
They're almost too placid, I guess.
Yeah, something.
They're too friendly almost.
Something like that.
I know some guys talked about they wanted to feed like crawler, like bigger than a fuzzy but smaller than a hopper type stuff that like really moves for some reason, and apparently that's what
I tried. I tried ASFs. I've tried pinkies. I mean, hopper mice. I mean, I could do that, but I don't even think they'd be interested in that. I still haven't tried what Nick has suggested. I don't know if I want to say it, but the little scalping, a little bit of the scalping there, and maybe exposing that, like making them a little juicy.
The Taliban
right?
style.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm game to do anything. I'm probably gonna have to do something with some of them. I did feed some chicken gizzards to some of them just to keep them going. Maybe I thought one meal or so. Like, that's how I got some of the inlands to go. And the weird thing about the inlands, so I know I'm rambling, but the weird thing about the inlands, it took them so long, and Dom will say that, for them to shed. Well, they took a long time for them to shed at his house, and they took a long time to shed at my house. Like some of them, like only shedded like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like that's
We're
crazy,
talking about over two
right?
months.
Crazy,
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. And some of them were eating with the shed, and that's the I don't know. Some of them just didn't care, you know. Yeah,
I'm kind of at the point. So two things. One, I'm not sure if it was Whitman last week that we haven't released yet, but he said the weirdest way of getting the animals to eat. I'm not sure if it's Whitman or maybe Booth, but correct me after, Mike.
Oh yeah, it
He
was
was
Warren.
saying about
I
the
think I know what
warm
you're gonna
breath.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was Warren.
So that was Warren Booth. So he was saying that the weirdest thing, he's saying that he uses his warm breath on the animals to try to get them to feed, which I don't know. I've never tried it, but I'm guessing you've got a nice, smelly, warm breath there, Shan. I bet you could really get those things to go.
I've
So maybe you could give that one a
I've
shot.
tried that. I've
Um,
tried that. Actually, you know what? The pygmies, they really like the hot pinky. So that's how I got them started. Like not hot, but like really, really warm. And instantly it went from like not even paying attention to them to like all of a sudden that it's like that little hot spot. And I got them to eat the first time like that. Now they just take them like as soon as they see me coming in there, they take it. But at first, I had to get it hot and like kind of wiggle it on its nose a little bit, and then boom, yeah, it worked. So I don't know, different techniques.
yeah, you know what the difference is too. Like when you first had your clutch, you'd start panicking after 2 weeks. Really panicking after 3 weeks, a month. And I'm looking right now. I still have two non-feeders. I have a super zebra that's never taken a meal, and an ocelot German zebra. No, just ocelot German line jungle that has never taken a meal. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, they're born at the end of May, so you've got June, July, August, September. So these babies are 4 month old, maybe 4.5, and they still haven't eaten. And you know what? They still look fine.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where I truly believe in time they'll eventually eat. And I used to always stress out, and I used to force feed all the time. I don't anymore. I figure at one point they're just going to turn on, and if they don't, well, nature is going to take its course. But they can go really a long time without eating. Like it's quite surprising. Again, we're in October, and it was May, the end of May that they were born, and they still haven't eaten, and they still look identical as when they were born.
Okay, I get that, but I
So
also have like a lot of bread rolls, so I want to like kind of get them going, so we can get them out of here, right? Because I have another season coming,
Start taking them for the car
right?
ride.
Right?
Drive them around a bit, and
Shake
then
'em up.
throw them back.
Um,
Ship them to Don and ship them
there
back to you. Ship them to
there's
yourself.
there's a lot of them, right? This is not like, you know, two or three of them. Like there's a lot of them, so I gotta try to get them going. Like the sooner I can get them going.
Have you tried boiled pinks?
No.
Just thawing them out and then boiling them for about 30 seconds, and then it kind of, I think that's definitely worked for colubrid guys with corn snakes or gray bands and stuff like that, where they just say or even other stuff where you boil them. It kind of gets the mouse scent off of them, but then also changes their probably smell as well.
Mm.
And their texture. I'm not sure if the texture matters, but yeah, I don't know. Apparently, boiling sometimes works, but yeah. And then I know when I offer stuff, even with my adult snakes, sometimes you just crush like the frozen thawed head, and then so a bit of the brain juice comes out of the nose, kind of thing. And sometimes that'll get stuff going too. Although this year it hasn't really worked for anything, but sometimes it works for a lot of stuff. It's weird. It's also, I think every year stuff's different, right? Like your bread light this year are terrible, and then maybe next year they all fucking take frozen, like 10 out of 14 take frozen thawed immediately first try, kind of thing, right? Or they're all dicks and they all want to bite the shit out of you, kind of thing. And then this year they're all kind of how they are. So like I also wouldn't get like just frustrated. Well, I guess we all get frustrated when stuff like this happens, but next year it could be totally different. Like the inlands as well could also, like, maybe something is a little different with them this year, and then next year they're gonna take live fuzzies right away, kind of thing, within a few weeks. But we we're this is all a hobby that we know very little about these animals in the big picture of things. So it's it's always a learning experience, I think.
For sure.
Yeah, sometimes it's
And so
go Shan.
we've had some other ones that were pretty bad. Remember the triple hets when they were babies, Dom? They were the worst to
Yeah, they
they
sucked.
they just wouldn't eat, right? And then all of a sudden something just clicked and boom, they just start eating, right? And then they were great. I don't know, they were great eaters after a while.
You know what the funny thing about that is how like your goals while you're keeping change. The triple heads, we're saying triple heads, they weren't actually triple heads. So we bred, well, I guess this one was me. I bred an albino to a super caramel exanthic, and we made caramel head exanthic head albinos with the goal of eventually creating a moon or a full moon, and basically a white snake. And did that, grew them all up, and now I'm like, man, I just don't want to breed that. It's a cross. It's going to create mutts. The amount of it's good, like you're creating that. You have one chance out of 64 of hitting the snake you want. What do I do with the other 63 non-desirable animals? And I was like, man. And eventually I got rid of the whole project. But it's crazy to think that for like this was like we were 7 years into the project, and I'm like, it's just not for me anymore. And we moved everything. Shan had a, you had a what 1.3. I had a 1.4, and we were working with that. Like we had a pretty big thing, but all I'm thinking is, man, think about it now. If I would have known I was starting with that, man, I would. The amount of undesirable possible hets, everything, and all these would be mutts, right? So, man,
They're
I don't
all
know.
just pet quality, which isn't bad. Like they'll make good pets, but in the
Yeah,
end, it makes you think about how like you could just do an albino to a het albino and produce some
it's
cool stuff with that instead of all these exant mutt exantic possible het albinos things, right? Where it's like they're kind of cool, but then they're not even pure, and then it's
I think this year was the first time I produced zero mutts. Every single thing I produced this year were pure. And in my entire collection, I have two snakes left that are not pure. So I think it's obvious that I've slowly moved away from them. Uh, but I guess we all evolve, right? We slowly change, our interests
Well,
change.
we
So,
yeah, for
I
sure.
had two clutches this year. So one was I actually bred one of the caramels,
yep.
double het, um, and nothing came out good out of it. Right, like it was all the lowest of the lowest. Right, they're all double hets. Then nothing turned out. No xanthic, no albino, and any of it. Like so that's what you're when you're breeding double hets, you're more than likely just going to get a normal looking snake, right off the bat. Like you're the chances of you hitting, and especially I
Yeah,
didn't have
like I
very
was
many
doing
eggs.
those
I think
double
one
hets,
of them
double
I
hets.
had
Shan, just come
6
out and come
eggs,
back on.
and
You
one of
froze again. So, oh,
I only had one.
he's back.
Was
Oh, you're good, Shan.
am I the
Uh,
one that's shorting like that?
Yeah, you had blacked
Yeah,
out
Uh,
for a little while, but you're back now. You're
I
good.
think you're good
okay,
now.
it says something up at the top that it's having a hard time. It's weird because I'm plugged in
Weird.
now. That's really weird. Anyway,
It still says you're uploading good, so
okay.
I think it's just a
It's
lag
saying
thing.
trying to reconnect right now at the top for something. So for some
Yeah,
reason.
Yeah,
the pop up will probably stay there for
Okay.
that kind of thing. But you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing really great came out of those eggs, right? I only had 6 eggs, and you know, it just goes to show you, like it was all double het stuff, right? So nothing really good came out of that. So I'm glad we didn't expand or do more females because it's hard to get rid of those animals. They're not desirable, right? A lot of the ones, not saying they're not pretty, but everybody would rather have an albino, an xanthic, or like the higher up, right?
Yeah.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
we did. I did a lot of the pairings that were double hets. So double hets, you could literally attach this to any snake, right? Whether it be a ball python or a subox or a transpico rat snake or any of that shit, right? But the advantage is when you do double hets. I prefer doing double hets. Like for example, my marble in the geez, West Papuan or the Papuan carpet pythons. All those, at least when I breed them, if I get granites, they're still pure. If I get xanthics, they're still pure. If I get double hets or possible, they're still pure. And you can just sell them as just a regular, typical, pure Papuan carpet, right? And those still have a certain amount of value. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. Sorry, Mike, you were going to chat.
Ah, I forgot what I was gonna talk about. But yeah, no, I think that's where like some like as I see as like a non-carpet breeder, but from carpets from the outside, it's like if you were gonna do like mutts or something, it's almost better to do something like just like because most of the albino stuff here is technically mutts, but then people love albino carpet still. People love albino caramels, and obviously eventually we'll get some albino hypo stuff going and all that. Like that stuff would be cool. Like visual albino stuff would be not like I think that if you're gonna produce something that's still gonna produce mutt hets in terms of that, like I think the albino project itself is good, but they got to be 100%. They kind of should all the offspring should be like 100% het instead of the 66% pos het stuff and that. And you want to be trying. I guess you want to hope to hit the more of the visual stuff, but it's definitely kind of tough because you can't really predict what you're going to produce every year, kind of thing, right? Yeah, I think Shan fell out again.
We're gonna lose, man. So I've got another subject we can chat about. So I shipped 2 animals this week, actually 3, but I shipped 2 actually to Vancouver, and so I'm gonna refrain from using the saying what companies we're using, right? But when you ship, you've got maybe what 3 or 4 people you can ship with. You can either go FedEx directly.
Oh,
Well, yeah. So you've got Reptile Runner, you've got Reptile Express, which are the 2 reptile people that are shipping,
Yeah.
and then you can go yourself and ship through FedEx and build your own account, or you could go yourself and ship through Air Canada, which are basically the only thing you've done. Yeah, basically that kind of idea. So I shipped through one of the companies that are the reptile companies. I'm going to refrain from using them. Overall, everything's good and all that, but I keep having small issues with like getting the animals picked up at my house. And today was again the same goddamn thing. They're supposed to come and pick it up between 2 and 4. Nobody ever shows up. By 4 o'clock, you complain, but because you're not the one who booked it, you're booking it through another company. FedEx is like, I don't know where they are. They don't exist. You got to go through your other third party. And then by that time, it's like, well, it needs to be at the auto airport by 6 or else you miss your flight. So now I end up being pissed off, getting into my car, driving 45 minutes, dropping off the animals so they can make the flight. I've done this several times now.
This year?
Yeah, like I'd say 1 out of 2 times the pickup doesn't happen.
I know. Yeah, we've had the same problem, but yeah, no, we don't need to say who it is. But yeah,
no, it doesn't matter. It's sorry.
It's yeah, no, I've heard of that too a few times this year where stuff was. So yeah, no, you gotta be on top of your if you. That's why I've tried to book stuff earlier. So if it doesn't get picked up by noon or 2, then okay, I need to come home from work because usually I actually get one of my parents to because one of my parents works from home, so I'll get them to kind of they're home, so FedEx can come by and pick up the box. I just put the cryo pack in it, kind of thing, and it's good to go. And then they just have to hand it off, kind of thing.
So what I did was when I got to FedEx, I asked what it was, and I had booked it 6 days in advance, and they told me the big issue was that it's a problem with the pickup order. The pickup order has to be done manually by the third party, and if they don't do it, that's where the problem is. Yeah. But anyway, the point of this story is I decided to go and ask, what the heck is the price for what I'm shipping right now? Because here's how much I paid. So I paid, one was $120, one was $130 plus tax, right? And I'm like, what if I had my own account and I shipped through you guys? You know what the price was? So with FedEx, if I did it myself, it was $180 instead of $120. So basically, these companies are still saving us a pretty large amount. Like 30% discount is 33.3. Let's go with that was the discount that they were giving us by them doing mass orders. So I was curious. I'm like, God damn it, man, because we're still saving a good amount by using them. But sometimes, man, I just wish I was in charge of it all. I could book it. I could actually do it, and I would know that if there's a problem, I can call FedEx and do it myself. So I inquired, and you can actually get a FedEx account. and they will give you 30% off, but only for 6 months. So I was like, oh, what do I do after the 6 month then? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way we could do it without having to use another company, just using yourself. Just because I keep running into issues. Like, I'd say 1 out of 2 shipping I have issues.
Yeah, it's tough, especially like if they have multiple, like because most of these companies have other people working for them. So if maybe one of their employees forgets to go through the emails and kind of submit it, kind of thing, it can be tough. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating when like especially us, like we try to work as much as we can, right, and then you gotta take a day off work or take half a day off work to make sure something gets shipped out. Like I'm lucky that my shipping the shipping depot is only like 4 minutes from my house, but then it's the fact that I still gotta take time off work to drop it off at 3, and I usually try to work till I'm 6 or 7 at night, kind of thing. So I prefer to stay at work, and because I never know when I'm gonna have a day that I can go in early. So unless I was able to book like enough shipments to make it worth it for me to take a half day off work, kind of thing, it's definitely tricky and definitely annoying. So yeah, but we gotta hope that maybe stuff gets better, and you give them some feedback, and then maybe they'll do better the next time, kind of thing.
I'm hoping it's still like a pretty good amount of savings, right? The problem is like if you sell a $300 snake, can you really charge somebody $200 to ship it to their house? Like it's a lot of money when you think about it. Or if you sell a $200 snake, the shipping is the same price. If we don't go through these companies that give us
Oh
a
yeah.
pretty substantial saving,
Oh
right? So
yeah.
you're almost trapped. You have to use them. It's just like I the fact that whenever if I call FedEx, you give them the tracking number, doesn't exist. Doesn't. They're like, we can see that the tracking number has been done, but we can't access it or anything like that because it's got to go through the other party. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's my rant.
Yeah.
Shipping can be frustrating, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things you have no choice but to use it.
At least most of these I think both companies have good customer service though. Like if you send them an email or phone call or something promptly, like they'll get on it, kind of thing. So at least there's that. But you gotta, yeah, anybody. And the thing is, you don't want to bug them either about being on. Like you don't want to do it ahead of time, and then they hate you as a customer because you're trying to tell them how to do their job, right? So
Yeah,
it's definitely a little frustrating.
yeah.
So most of the time I have to drop off at the airport. So
Okay.
I have no choice really. For me, I just don't think it's a good thing. I'm easily an hour away from the airport, and just imagine this guy's got tons of stops. I just rather take I just go after work and take an hour, go out there, drop off the box, and then I pray. I've had this happen to me, where the box gets left behind. They forget to scan it in or something, do whatever, and then all of a sudden you look on the app when you're tracking the number, and it's not going to get there for 2 days. And I'm like, wait a minute, and then they're like, oh yeah, it missed the first whatever truck
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Oh, what a pain.
For
So
sure.
I've only had that happen one time, and I was a little worried. I was lucky it was a Brazilian rainbow boa, so I think if it was a carpet python, it wouldn't have been a good thing. But yeah, 2 days in like
Yeah.
not great weather, you know.
The Air Canada and WestJet's actually like. So I know how much my buddies spend shipping their stuff to and from shows across the country, and it's not cheap at all, especially with those huge boxes that they use. They use like the 3 foot by like foot and a half by foot and a half boxes, kind of thing, where you fit tons of stuff in, and some of them are shipping 2 of those boxes to each show, and that's like, I want to say one of those boxes is like $400 or $500 a shipment, kind of thing, or
Yeah, that
more
makes
even.
sense.
So
So
it's not cheap to go to these
Yeah, it's
shows. But
about right.
guess how much it is if you were to use WestJet or Air Canada though for the same size box?
which company was he using?
That it was. I think it would be the same for either company, kind of thing.
Okay,
But if you were to use WestJet or Air Canada, it's going to be like $200.
really.
It's going to be like less than half of what you're spending using FedEx.
So we shipped to Japan right this year, and shipped a box that was 2 feet by a foot and a half by a foot and a half, give or take. So it's a pretty sizable box. I think it was something like 14 pounds, like not crazy heavy. And going to Japan, from Montreal to Japan, which is still it's pretty far, right? And that was what, Shan, do you remember, like 400 and some dollars?
Yeah,
Like
somewhere around there.
very,
$460.
but it's crazy. 400 and some bucks to send to Japan. But if I go to BC, it's 180, right? Like it doesn't even make sense. Like to me, it's like one's international, the other one's like just one end of the country to the other, and we're in the same country. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's weird how it works, right? Like sometimes like it's only like 50 or 60 bucks to ship from me to Alberta, but then I swear sometimes it's more. So I think it's just weird. I think there's probably ways of like if the box is like higher, it's gonna be cost that much more than if it was like longer and wider kind of thing. So I think
I've
there's some different aspects to. Actually, I think Lisa works for FedEx, so she maybe might know the insight to some of this. But yeah,
I know like just changing the size from like 12 inches to 10 inches will save like 20 bucks. Like I've done changing the thing, and I think my boxes are often too big. So like I'll ship a 12 by 10 by 10 for one tiny little deli cup, just because I feel like it's safer to have a bigger box than a tiny little box. But I might be wrong. But because of that, the customer is probably paying an extra 40 bucks of shipping because the box is bigger, right?
I think
So
certain
yeah,
times of the year is a good thing. Um, More air, I think, to the less air that's in the package, more chances of it freezing. I feel like if you have a space in between the inner package and the foam and all that, I think it's a little bit better. So, not making it super big, but right, especially when you're putting a hot pack on there. If you're putting a hot pack and you don't have any room in there, it might get too hot,
yeah.
or
That's why I think
I don't
even
know.
now, like if I'm gonna ship, I'm gonna probably ship a heat pack and a cryo pack. Because the cryo pack's just gonna try to hold it at like a nice in between, kind of not too hot, not too cold. So I'd rather almost use that and ship in like a cooler time. And then if the animal shows up a little cool, it's better than it
yeah.
showing up too hot.
So the two animals I shipped to BC, what was it, a week ago? It was about 15, 16 degrees, right? Like the temperature is basically perfect. I put nothing in the containers.
Yeah,
One of the two people are like, it came kind of cold. I temp gunned it. It was 70. I'm like, fuck, that's perfect. That's all I was thinking. I'm like, that's like the target temperature I
I,
want it to
I
arrive at.
I'd be fine if something showed
right.
up at 65. It would be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's
So I was like,
good for
nope,
me.
that's good. But I got to ship one more next week, and I'm at the point now. I might put a hot pack in it, like because
Yeah.
we've got some colder days, right? So it's getting to the point where I'm considering it. So
Have you
just
guys used the cryo packs at all or no?
yeah, I do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I like them. It's just an extra safety, right? But it's another $4, and I know it's
yeah.
stupid, like, but
It's a part of.
when you order 25, 30 cryo packs, that's 100 and some bucks, right? So now you're like you put them in, but it's all
Yeah,
extra. It's all extra cost, but
yeah, it's all a part of it, right?
so
You gotta think of it all as like a general. You're gonna make this much out of everything that year, and then well, this kind of works its way into it.
So the
And
only snake I've ever shipped that died on its way is actually to you, Michael, which is
yeah,
kind
I
of
know.
funny because I ship about 30 or so
I
animals a
think it's still
year.
in my freezer.
Oh, really? I still feel bad about that. So, by
Yeah.
curiosity, we can say what I did for you. At that point, we weren't even that good of friends, right? But how do you work when you ship animals? Do you give a live what kind of guarantee, or you give no guarantee? It's up to you.
I haven't shipped too many. Like obviously, like if something shows up like dead, and it was like I'd probably do the same thing you did, where it was like, well, it showed up dead, so I'll refund you your money, kind of thing. And I would do exactly what you did. Uh, but I don't necessarily. I haven't had. Well, I don't ship too much to individual customers too much, so I haven't really had that sort of an issue. But if I do start doing that more, I'll probably have to start just saying that so people feel more comfortable buying from me, kind of thing. But yeah, no, I haven't really had to do too much of that. But you guys sell a lot more, so I think you guys have a good system from what I can tell.
You do, but it's all like it's always a gamble, right? I'm sending it, and you send it alive, and there's nothing you can do, right? If the guy at FedEx decides to put it on the concrete floor or in the sun beside the
Yeah,
plane for an hour, nothing you can do. So, and it sucks because it's like, not only do you lose the animal, you lose the sale, you got to pay it back, and then you're like, well, animal came dead. I'm going to refund the shipping too. So you actually lose money and lose an animal. Like it's one of those things where it's rough and like it's really tough because like when we ship to Japan once a year, you're talking about like a very large, substantial amount of money, right? Every year, it's like we give them a live arrival guaranteed, right? But if that doesn't go through, you're losing. Like I don't want to say the amount, but you're losing the price of a small car, right? Like
Oh yeah.
like you're it's so
I
risky, and that's what I freaking hate, right? And I don't know, does everybody give a live or animal guarantee or not? And I sometimes wonder, like, are we
I
being
feel like
too?
most would,
Yeah,
honestly. Like I think most guys would take care of you. At least the guys I know, they would they would definitely take care of you. Maybe not maybe not always for the shipping, but I can't speak for them because I don't think they haven't really had any issues with them or haven't heard of any issues kind of thing. But I'm sure they would. I'm sure most people would take care of you. It's the guys that wouldn't do anything that you'd probably have to be worried about. But yeah,
So I have faith in most of the stuff I sell. Most of the animals we sell are in good shape, eating really well. It would have to be something like Dom said, out of our hand. But I would still refund the money, like no matter what. But I have total faith in what I'm sending out that thing's not going to croak on the way, right? Like that thing's had tons of meals. It's real nice hydrated. Probably going to open the container. It's going to want to like take a nip out of you, right? That's what a little carpet python's going to want to do. Um, but yeah, no.
yeah. And then the next question is, how long does your guarantee last for? If the animal dies an hour after they get it, if the animal dies 2 days after, if the animal dies a week, a month, 3 months, at what point do you say no? And that's where that gray zone
it's
is
definitely
bad,
tough
right?
because even if they had it for a day, like they might have put the container down on like a piece of heat tape that was not 95 degrees kind of thing and somehow cooked it in there, or maybe they have like a weird gap in there, or maybe they're just idiots and they put the snake in a bin and then just shut the tub and cut its head off, kind of thing, right? There's some weird stuff that I've kind of heard people possibly do with stuff, and it's just like not necessarily stuff that's been shipped to them immediately, but like just stuff in general with bigger facilities and stuff where you're like,
Yeah, but how
it's
much is your reputation worth, right? Even if you
right,
send it and then they put it in a cage that's completely wrong, and then the animal dies in a week, they ask for a refund saying you sent them a sick snake. It's one of those things where it's like, man, is it worth
you put your
losing?
Brazilian rainbow boa on sand in a in
Exactly.
a desert setup, and you're like,
But so
I
let's
I
use
think
that example. He
yeah,
killed your Brazilian. He put it on sand, and it got impacted with sand and died. And then the guy's like, you know what? You you sent me a sick snake. What do? Do you refund it, or and is it worth your reputation, right? Because it takes one bad word to just get out there. And sometimes I wonder, man. Like sometimes it's just not worth it, man. Just give them the three,
yeah,
4, $500 back and accept the loss. And you're like, well, you're blacklisted forever. But it's such a piss off, man. Some people don't get how like some people just kill your animals, and it's 100% their fault. And it's just like anyway, yeah,
yeah.
that's
That's a tough one because like obviously that's incorrect husbandry for a Brazilian, right? They're probably going to dry out in that setup within a couple days, right? They're baby Brazilians, as Shan probably knows, are more almost like a python baby, where you got to make sure they're pretty humid at least for the first year, kind of thing. And they're
Absolutely.
so that would almost fall under bad husbandry, but then it's one of those like you'd have to like
Okay.
gauge is this some guy that's just started keeping snakes, right? And it's their first snake, and then you might feel more obliged to maybe just send them another snake and be like,
Okay.
first change
So
this, do your setup differently, and I'll send this one to you. But like after that, it would be like if you kill it again, it's like kind of thing. But it's tricky, right? Because you got people who, oh no, I know better than you, kind of thing, and those people, you'd almost, I don't know, it's a lose lose almost either way.
you're going to say something, Shen?
so your opinion on this one. So we sent out 3 snakes to this guy out in BC. Pretty good guy. I think he's not. I think he knows his stuff good enough. So a pair of supers and another snake we sent him. I checked up on him a little while later, and to find out that one of the supers went about 2 weeks, 3 weeks after
When was
that
this?
last year.
I don't even remember this, but keep going.
No, that's fine because I was the one that dealt with him, right? So and that's fine. So one of the supers passed away, right? And he's just like, yeah, no big deal. We gave him we gave him a good deal. I really do think though. I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking of reaching out to him. So at the time last year, I didn't have anything, and he never asked for anything back. He's just like, could have been my fault. It's been 2 or 3 weeks in. So I was like, okay, whatever. But I'm really feeling to reach out to him and saying, hey, listen, if if I ship this thing out to you, if you want to like pay the shipping, I'll send you one of these. And I was thinking of actually dropping an extra snake in there just to make things go. I would think that would be good for your reputation. Good for your reputation.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. There's a lot of guys
So-
like hearing how Keith McPeak and that would say like you bought a snake from him 3 years ago and for some reason it died randomly, and then you show up to another show and he just gives you, and then it sounds like sometimes he's like just giving people like, oh here's this one, just take it.
Especially when you can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And I haven't said anything to nobody and he's never asked anything. He was a good customer, reached out, was really friendly, everything went well. I could just have been mishap either which way, but he's somewhat like, I don't want to mention names, but I think we all know him, so
I'm not even
he's a good guy.
I'm not even sure which
Yeah.
one it is, but 100%. So
Yeah.
I didn't even know about this. So reach out to him. I actually have 1, 2, 3
Yeah, I have a
super
few.
zebras left that are for sale. So fuck man, reach out to him, get the sex that passed away, and ask him if he's willing to pay shipping. I'll gladly send him one if you don't have
Or
one.
you could send him a nice
Sure.
a normal zebra too or something, but
Yeah,
it depends what he's looking for.
I was gonna drop him a little gift of some sort, probably like a gelatin or something.
Fuck, I keep thinking about those gelatins. I'm like,
I'll give him something really nice. Extra, right? Here you go. Just throw it in the package. Yeah, I think he would like that. He's got some pretty cool stuff. So yeah. No, and not meaning to keep it away from you, but it just at the time it was just like passing through. I didn't even need to check up with it, but that's some of the things I do with some of the customers. I'll check up with them, a month or two later and say, hey, how's the snake doing? I trust that snake's going to be just fine, and they'll be like, hey, yeah, it's just doing just great, right? Like most people, I don't do it for every customer, but there's some people that or that you've done business with before, or they, you can tell they have a nice collection, and stuff like that.
that shit goes so long though, and especially
Absolutely.
when people don't ask for it, they're the ones I actually want to send to, because I've had the people do the complete opposite and they expect it and all that, and I've always given the full money back. But just thinking about it now, I remember hearing Owen actually just in the last episode or two they just did right now. He doesn't give people money back; he gives them a credit, and a credit is fair. Like you spent $400 with me, animal died. I'm sorry. You have $400. Do you want the same animal? If I don't have the same animal, you can spend $400 on anything else here, or it'll be available next year.
I'm sure he would kind of work with you too. Like
Yeah.
if it was close to it or something. Like a lot of guys are pretty decent people, kind of
Yeah,
thing, and they probably would. As long as you're clear about it, like you send pictures and you're like, hey, this happened, or kind of thing. Like people are generally pretty good in this hobby, honestly. Like there's definitely bad characters, but there's a lot of good people out there, for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? I've never seen anything bad out of this guy. I think he's just seems like a great guy and great person out of the hobby. So yeah, definitely going to reach out to him and
Yeah, now that you texted me and told me who it is, 100%. 100%. So fix that.
Right.
And I didn't even know, man. You should have, if you told me, I forgot, but definitely fix it. I've got, I'm just looking right now. One male, one male. Holy shit, male. Nope, I've only got males. So
Only Philippines.
if it's a male, I can help out. If it's a female, I hope you've got an extra female because all my super zebras I've got that are for sale are all males. Damn. If not, I could give him another jungle of some types to make it up to.
So tell you the truth, I have a guy that I've been speaking with all day, and he wants female super zebra. So if he doesn't take that one, I don't know if it's a female or not. I'll have to check with the guy. But if not, I have tons of males. I have tons of males here too.
Yeah.
So
If not, I only have one female ocelot German jungle that I could you could offer. That's the best I got, and it's got over 10 feet. So I'm just looking at it right now. So figure it out.
that, or I'll just tell him, listen, we'll set you up next year. We'll
Yeah, yeah.
send you something, and we'll send you a package. Don't worry about it. So I'm feeling like that yeah.
Yeah.
So
So did we want to get into our pairings as
Yeah, let's
and
go
then
with.
maybe get back to what we have for sale kind of thing?
Let's do Mike. Mike, you do first because that's a lot of Python talk. I want you to go into your weird collie bridge shit. So,
Yeah.
what are you doing this year?
Yeah, I think this year, obviously, like I think that female Bahama's gravid with at least slugs, so she won't be going next year, even if she drops slugs, kind of thing. Boas usually need a year off. Other than sand boas, seem to be fine to go a few years in a row, kind of thing. So sand boa will have next year off. Bahama will have next year off, and then I'll probably pair my female Kentucky for a third year because like I'm kind of worried if I put her in brumation, she's gonna probably cycle anyways. And so far, she's been 15 for 15 with no slugs, perfect eggs, and the 2 clutches she's had. Like that's 15 combined, not 7 and 8 kind of thing. Or actually no, 16 for 16. But either way, I'm kind of worried if I don't pair her and then she has bad eggs that she might not go too well. So I'd rather just have good fertile eggs through her. So I'll probably pair her again, hopefully for another solid clutch of 7 or 8 big eggs because those Kentuckys are just awesome. And then I'll try the Subox again. So hopefully another. I tried for 2 clutches this year, and then the female from Smitty 2 years in a row now has given me like a clutch of 7 and a clutch of 8, but then only a couple eggs looked kind of good. And then this year, none of them hatched, and they all kind of went bad, even the ones that looked kind of fertile. So I'm not sure if I want to just maybe even try to find another male and just pair her to it and make like het blondes or something like. Because I think I got a friend that has a male blonde that's never been paired before. That's kind of in a closed collection that I might be okay with pairing to her just to see maybe. Oh, and I think the one thing with her though I realized is that so she has one of the old heat panels in her cage, which always like unplugs because it doesn't have the bracket thing to hold it in anymore because it's one of the like the original vivarium ones. So this once she goes into brumation, I'm gonna put a big heat pad on her instead, so that she can't pull the cord out or anything. So I'm gonna try a different way of heating her, and hopefully that solves that issue. And then she will have heat all day long instead of whenever she pulls it out. And I notice that I need to plug it back in every couple days, kind of thing. So I'll definitely change that. So maybe that might just be the issue, and she just hasn't had consistent heat other than the ambient kind of thing. So so I'm gonna try that, and then I'll try to pair the Rob Nemo girl with the Transpecos, and try for another 4 solid babies like this year. I'll be happy with that, and those ones will be for sale if all goes well. But Subox are generally one of those snakes that takes a little bit to get going, so I'd probably wait a little bit to sell those if it goes well, and if not, I have this year's babies grown up to pair in a few years. So yeah, hopefully 2 Subox clutches, Kentucky, and then black milks. My black milk female will finally be up to size as she'll be about 4.5, 5. She's a 2021 baby. So I'll finally get to pair her up and try for some baby black milk snakes, which will be awesome because I've been waiting forever. The male's like a solid like 5.5, 6 feet. So she's finally getting up to size. So that'd be really cool to produce some black milks there. They're honestly like probably the best pet snake because you can keep them mid 70s ambient, even low 70s. They'll eat every time. They prefer to be cooler. So yeah, they're awesome. And then, is there anything else? Maybe rosy boas. If I get my friends 8 rosy boas, I'll probably pair those. But I'm still debating on how I want to do it to keep them kind of away from most of my collection, just because they're from a different collection, and it's kind of tricky quarantining stuff. So we'll play that by ear and see if I can make it work that I'm comfortable bringing them in, kind of thing. But yeah, not too much, not too much for me, honestly. How about
So
you, Shan?
question for
Yep.
question for you, Michael. Is your male old enough? Is that might be the issue,
For
or
the
for
for which
the
one?
the ones that we were telling that are
Yeah,
infertile
the
eggs?
male's like 6, 7 years old, and the female that had
Okay,
the good eggs this year was a younger female. Like she was a 2021, so she's only like 3.5, 4, because they hatch out in September to December usually. So she was on the younger side, and it's the older female that's supposed to be siblings with the male that's not been not been giving me good eggs. But I think it might be the heat thing,
okay.
which is why it was. That's the only uh,
So
difference kind of thing in it. So
so what do you do differently? Like, so for me, how I do my bandits. So right now I'm gonna go right to the end of the month, and I'm gonna feed pretty heavy. The girl and the boy a little bit, but the girl I'm gonna feed her pretty heavy. Like at least once a week. And then next month, I'm gonna take her out of this room, and I'm just gonna keep her on my freezer on top of a foam board, but covered in a Tupperware. I'm gonna leave it there for about a month and a half, and then after that, it goes in my pantry, um, where it can get up to like 50, 40,
yeah,
5.
yeah, that's
And
usually
then I do 2 months of that, and then I do the opposite around, but like take a lot less time. So probably a week out on the freezer, and then back into the room, and then give it another month to heat up, and then start feeding, and then
yeah,
introduce.
yeah.
Is
So
it the
with
same thing? Is it the
I
same
do
thing
something
for
similar.
this?
With my Kentuckys and the black milks, I did them with a full probably 2.5, almost 3 months of brumation, like solid at cold. So I've
Okay.
kind of figured over time that all in nature, as you notice, sometimes overnight it goes from being warm one day to pretty cold the next day. So I do the drop down pretty quickly over probably less than a week. Sometimes I just honestly just drop them straight down or pull them straight out, and they just like I'll leave them at room temperature for a day or two and then add heat. But for the most part, it's a fairly direct switch over, and I haven't had any issues with that. Uh, but yeah, no, the subox. I did lose one male, the original male that was to the younger female, her sibling slash mate. So with that, I've shortened their brumation to more like 2 months instead of a full 3, and so that's what I did last year. So I'll keep them down. I'll keep them out in the garage in like on the metal baker's rack thing, and I just have moving blankets around it, so it kind of insulates it slightly. So it's just a touch, not dropping as quickly as like the rest of the garage. So it'll sit in the 50s and high 40s kind of for most of the winter. Like unless it gets -10 outside for like a couple weeks, which doesn't happen too often. It's usually in the low 50s kind of thing, which is good for the pine snakes and the black milk. Like they're all good out there for as long as you want, kind of thing. So yeah, and I'm almost thinking I start dropping them earlier this year, because like right now, honestly, all the colubrids are looking pretty thick. Like the female subox are all like they're almost a little too fat. I think I think I'm gonna maybe
But
just
it's
cut
warm
their like
outside.
already cut their food. Yeah, here it's starting to cool. Like I can already feel it kind of cooling. So, but I also figure that colubrids hold on to their poop a lot longer than some may think. So I
All
might
I'm
give them a
thinking
full 3 weeks
is
to clear out.
you really don't want to fight the outside, right? And
Yeah,
I feel like if anything, it tends to cool down. Like it stays warmer longer now. I find our winters are like a little bit
yeah,
further in, so I don't know, man. Cooling earlier to me is just my opinion.
Yeah, I would
I
still
feel like
be.
it's a mistake.
They wouldn't go in the garage till November, anyways, kind of thing at this point. Like, I would still give them, like, it's still a couple more weeks of if I were to drop them down.
And
So
here I
it's
am
kind
giving
of.
you collar breeding advice. I've never bred a
No,
collar.
it's fair, though. I can totally get why you're saying that, because it kind of has been warmer. But then I also, like, feel that it is. Like, I can tell it's kind of cooling down finally. And, like, I think we had a little bit of a frost last week, one of the mornings, which wasn't that cold. It got to, like, maybe zero wherever I was. It wasn't zero at my house, but when I got to the job site, I saw a little bit of crystallized water on the grass. But yeah, it's
There's been sub-zero here because I can tell you my garden, like about 2 weeks ago, my entire garden died. Like all the tomatoes went from healthy to the one day they were all frozen. There's a nice little crystallized everything. The entire garden went completely dead outside. So we
yeah,
got the first frost around the start of October for us.
yeah. Most of the trees still have leaves on here. Like they're definitely changing color, but some of the trees are still pretty green. So
But
it's
then we have a day like today, right? Today it was pretty warm,
Like 22 or
right?
something
I know. It
Celsius.
was
wow.
super warm. Like super warm. Like even last night was warm. Because I got woken up first thing in the morning. I have a back camera on a blink camera on one of my back sheds, and there was an actual insect that was like trying to like get a picture of itself in my camera at like
Oh yeah,
3:28 in the morning.
the
Like it was
the
weird, but I
mosquitoes
was
are
like,
coming out.
it was like a waspy kind of
Hmm.
animal anyway. Yeah, it was weird, but it's like it's pretty warm when that's happening.
Oh yeah.
But then last week was frosty. I don't know.
So, Mike, how many
But
pairs are you going for in total? I'm just curious your numbers.
I
Like you're
want to say
trying for.
four or five ish maybe.
Does that
Not
include
too
your
much,
boas too, like your sand boas?
excluding the rosies. No, I'm gonna give her the year off. She went 3 years in a row, so she'll have a year or two off here. Before that, she had 2 years off, so it's kind of like she goes like there's no slugs this year either. Like last couple of years, there's been no slugs.
So why are you
14
giving her the
perfect
wear?
babies.
Why are you giving her the year off?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
she's 15. Might as well give her a year off, kind of thing. She's not gonna cycle, kind of thing. I don't cool her down. Like she just cools with the room. So like the room night drops. Like my snake room, because it's on like an outside wall with has a. It's like an old. It used to be an office kind of thing, an office room. So it has like a good sized window on it. So it'll cool down in the winter. Like at night, I think it'll drop to the mid 60s, and then during the day it kind of warms up because now I got a couple cages with some 50-watt heat lamps in them, so it seems to raise it at least to the low 70s. And then if it doesn't warm up more than that, I'll turn the heater on and keep it at 75 kind of thing for the day, and then let it drop back down at night. And the room will probably get cooler during the day because at that point all the colubrids will be in the garage and kind of that kind of thing. So the room will definitely be they definitely still feel a cycle. And then the Bahamas are in my bedroom, which gets pretty cool as well because I don't like it that hot. Honestly, the Bahama cages give off more heat than anything else in there because they have the 80-watt heat panels. you you'd be surprised how quickly a room will heat up by
Yeah.
having a heat panel just on at 100%. The room heats up to like 85 degrees somehow.
Are you doing
So it
sand
goes.
boas too?
No, that's what I meant. The Sambo girl, she's having the year off. So I only have one. I probably should have held babies back for my first litters back in 2018 and that.
So
But
you're,
I never did.
I'm gonna sound like a freaking idiot here, but sand boas and rosy boas, they're not the same, right? So you just talked about rosy
No.
boas and sand boas. Do you have
Yeah, the
breeding pairs of
Rosies
each?
that I'd maybe no, I'd be those would be be breeding them for my friends. So that's why I'm like
Okay.
iffy if I want to. Like I would need to set up a rack kind of some in in a different room kind of thing. I'd have to figure out a way to do it that I'd feel comfortable with. Like they have a closed collection with snakes kind of thing. So like yeah, that's why I'm even entertaining it is because they haven't had new snakes in like 6 years and they don't even breed. They just have a room full of snakes that they don't even breed, which is hilarious. So these rosies are like haven't bred in 5 years and are huge because they're the garbage disposals. So if they do breed, they're gonna drop like a massive litters, which would be fun. And I think we need more rosies up here in Canada because they are a pretty underrated species that are make just a great pet in general, let alone a possible breeding project. So yeah, but I think they're similar to sandboas, where like the sandboas they'll breed in January, February, but I don't think the female cycles till like April because I don't usually get April or May even because March, April. They seem to drop litters in September to August, September, October kind of thing for the most part, like most boas seem to do. So if I were to breed them, I'd pair from probably February to May kind of thing.
Nice, nice. You got anything else, or do you want to move to Shan?
Yeah, we can move to Shan.
All right, Shan. You tell us, what are you breeding? And keep it under
Not as
30
many.
pairs.
Yeah, not as many as last year. That's for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do Brettles this year. I have enough that I don't think I need anymore. Um, if anything, it'll only be I don't know. I have one female I want to really try to Wonder Woman. She's kind of got that red, kind of hypo looking. I'm not saying she's hypo, but she definitely looks different than a regular Brettles. I'm kind of intrigued what I would get out of that if I bred it. See, I don't know if that color comes out. If not, a repeat pairing of the genetic stripe. Um, that's possible. The main thing though this year is going to be I'm going to do a lot of jungle, a lot of the jungle stuff. So I got two females that are coming in this year. So one I produced back in, she's a 2022 or 23. I'd have to check. So she's ready to go. I think she's a 23. So she's ready to go 3 years. Nice and beefy. I produced her from Bonnie. She's got the ocelot pattern and a stripe. So I'm really thinking of breeding her to a really bright ocelot zebra and seeing what I get out of that. And I bred that one too. Another Bonnie's baby. That one is 2023 also. So we'll see what happens there. I also have a super zebra male that I'm thinking of maybe putting to Bonnie. Seeing what happens there. That one comes from Dominic.
And Bonnie's a jungle ocelot zebra, just so people know.
Yes, she's right behind me, right up there.
And she's insanely gorgeous. Like, she's one that I produce, and I have her sisters and all that kind of stuff. But so ocelot is the little round bullseye circle. Zebra is the busy pattern, but she's a bit screwed up. Like, she's got a zebra, but it's crazy, weirdly patterned. Like, she's just got broken up zebra pattern everywhere. She's really gorgeous. She's one of the nicest that I produced that I unfortunately got stolen by Shan. So I want her back.
Yeah. Well, the other one that that I have that you want back too would be the German one that I'm going to breed this year. This thing is insane. Like 50% zebra, German line.
So keep talking,
jungle.
Shan. I'm going to take out a sibling of that German line and show it on the camera while you're keep talking.
Yeah. This thing is insane. Anyway, she's ready to go. So 2 new females to introduce. Bonnie. I also got Nugget. So Nugget is a sister to Bonnie, but she came from Dominic, and I took her over. A lot duller.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is it that light in person? Like to me, it looks kind of more white from here, but either way,
I think it's the light. I think it's the light.
Nice.
As soon as we get a little closer, you'll see it's yellow.
Either way, that's cool. Like you can see how defiant that pattern is on it.
Yeah, I can post the picture that I have originally, and it was kind of funny the dialogue in the actual post. And yeah, Dominic wants it back, but he can't have it. He can't have it back. That's just the way it is. But yeah, no, it's. I thought at first it was going to be a male we had it as a male, and then I sexed it 2 years ago, and then found out, and I was like, hey, so start working on that and getting her up to size. But she's good to go this year. So a lot of so Nugget is basically Bonnie's sister, not as bright as Bonnie. Bonnie's really bright, got that bright yellow.
Oh wow, that looks.
It's hard to tell on the camera, but like that's probably bright yellow. Yeah, I can tell
Yeah.
it's got a lot of yellow. It's just the camera's quality,
Now
right?
if only we make
and the
make it
lighting
actually
in there,
white
right?
and get some ivory zebra stuff going.
Don't get me started there. So the Nugget I have, but it does make nice babies, Nugget. So I've been keeping her, and I might put a super to her. I don't know what male I'm gonna put. We've retired the original male that produced the original father. He's a zebra, NBK zebra jungle, pure guy too. And we mixed him with the Favel line, and that's how we got the Ocelot. Yeah, then I got the Ivories. I want to do a repeat pairing of that. I need more of those. I definitely need more of those.
How many did you end up with?
I ended up with three.
Oh.
3. I had 8 eggs, but the container, I didn't have the container fully sealed. Like the container lid kind of went warpy, so a lot of air came in and I didn't see it. So the front side looked really good and those eggs looked really good, but then I saw in the back part and I'm like, oh my gosh. And by that time they were really pretty dried out, and I really feel like I dried some of the eggs out. Yeah, still kicking myself.
She's still nice and healthy though, so you can definitely do it again.
Yes, so that's what I'm doing, beefing her up, but definitely want some more eggs out of her. That's the plan. I got 2 males and a female out of this clutch of eggs this year. So I'm kind of sad that I got 2 males, but they're both 2 male ivory zebras. So the higher end, and one of them's like, it's like, I think we're on our 3rd shed, and my gosh, this thing's it's turning out pretty white. I like it. I mean, it's not super white, but if you were to put a regular zebra jungle, that's like yellow and black to this one, you would definitely be able to tell the difference.
You know what the coolest thing is about your zebra project, the ivory, is that I know once you have enough, I'm getting some.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm getting some.
So the main thing is getting these males up to par, because I really want to put those back to the female, right? Because then I go for super ivories. I really want to eventually have something. So that would be for all the pure jungle stuff. I'm gonna try spotteds for the first time this year.
Well, those will be cool.
Yeah, Dom's done it before, so I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna focus.
That he had?
No. So these are babies that I got from Dom, and I raised them up. It's been like 3-4 years I've had them.
I think I sold my pair to, is it Shan?
Yeah, Shan has them.
I sold them to Shan. I sold my pair, and he produced them this year, but all the eggs went bad, if I remember well, which is too bad for him. But you got some of the offsprings.
No, it wasn't Shan. It was Wayne.
Oh, yeah, it is Wayne, actually. Sorry, not Shan.
It's Wayne.
And Wayne got a clutch this year, but unfortunately, all the eggs went bad on him. So.
Yeah, but Sean did buy spotted, but he didn't buy the pair. He just bought a baby. But no. So I'm gonna try for those. Gonna try the Warmas. I'm gonna really try to focus on those guys.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I need a female.
I'd really like to try it again one more time, just to say, I've done it 3 times, so I know I can do it. It's
just so people know, Shan can produce womas, but he can only produce males. Only males. Every single clutch he's had, only fucking males. Never a goddamn female in there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. So apart from that, I'm probably gonna do the bandeds again, the gray bands again. I'm thinking those babies, once I get them feeding, they're gonna sell pretty well.
Oh
I've
yeah,
had a lot of I've had a
people
lot of
love normal gray
inquiries,
bands.
right? And you never see them. Like if you look on Kijiji or anything like that, you never ever see them on online. So I really think that they'll do really well. So
I
I've
think.
had a few inquiries, but nothing. They're
Yeah.
not ready to go yet, right?
What do you
So
guys
go ahead.
think about like if it'd be cooler if because I see that we kind of all scan Kijiji and stuff because that seems to be like the only kind of classified site that people in Canada kind of regularly use. Like not all the breeders use it
Mhm.
either. And then morph markets really hit and miss. Like there's some people that do are from Canada and do post stuff on there, but
I
it's
know.
kind of weird. Like I wish Morph Market had like instead of being U.S. and Canada, you could like have a selection of just looking at Canada, just so it's
Yeah.
different kind of thing.
They say
Like I
they
wish,
do, but it should be
but it's
just like
not. It just says U.S.
morphmarket.com
and
and then
Canada.
morphmarket.ca. They should just make a completely different website. You know what I mean?
I could see why they don't want to do that because that's probably a lot more work and another copyright thing. But like I like at least like just a section just divided just a little more from splitting up the Canada and U.S. ads kind of thing.
I think for us, Facebook is
Because we
still the
used to,
best place.
yeah, but even then, people
See, you
there's not
hit
much
better on
activity on
Facebook.
there almost. So
See,
it's
you
kind of
hit better on Facebook. I hit better on Kijiji. Um, I don't know. Facebook sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't get many people texting me from Facebook today. Yes, but I mean, like usually it doesn't happen. I won't get that random guy to ask me, and if I do, it's just a random person and just inquiring, and then
yeah.
doesn't produce anything.
So
You know?
Shan, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I've gotten a few Americans on the Kentucky stuff because I'll post the Kentucky pine pictures in the big Pitchuovis groups. But then still, as soon as you say you're from Canada, they don't really want to pay the shipping to the U.S., which it's for a $600 American snake is that isn't on Morph Market. There's none on Morph Market right now. So if you really wanted one, if you so what you have to do out I think it's I want to say it's 300 US to ship like a box that could fit several animals in it to the US
You don't
through the
need permits
shipping.
or anything for that, right?
You just basically have to declare what it is kind of thing as long as they're not protected, they're non-CITES, so it's pretty straightforward. There's no don't have to wait for permits, you just have to wait for an export date kind of thing, which is closing soon and we
Does
won't
anybody
be able to
even
tell.
check in that box to see what it is? Like anybody competent, or you literally could
They
probably.
probably do. They probably randomly do kind of thing just
Yeah.
to make sure, but honest, like that's why they just ask you to keep them in containers instead of bags for the most part. Even though Smitty Smitty used bags with the Subox when he sent them up to me, but it's still pretty straightforward
Because I
for the
often
most part.
wonder that because like whenever we ship animals, like the people have no fucking clue what they're looking at. Like it's just like some little security guard, and he's like, "Yeah, oh cool, what is that?" And you're like, it's a python. He's like, oh my god, is it gonna eat me? And you're like, yeah, and you're the one checking to make sure my CITES animals are actually what's in there, right? Like I've
Yeah,
never had a competent person look at my box and be like, oh my god, I know what this is. I could have put a retic and sold it as a carpet, or put a blood python and sold it
but
as an albino
that's how
something.
some of those retic
So
morphs are in the U.S. now, even though it's against the Lacey Act, right? I'm pretty sure it's from what it sounds like from listening to other podcasts that some guys have gotten away with doing it by throwing them in ball python shipments from Indo to here or whatever, and you just say it's a freaking ball python, and they don't really check, which is kind of silly when like the whole retic thing is a whole nother.
yeah.
But like, why are we breeding these 18-foot snakes that nobody can properly take care of, really, for the most part? Just put your energy into something else that's actually better, and
It's
won't even
okay.
be an
They're
issue.
dwarf. It's okay. They're dwarf.
They're hybrids, as Nick would say. They're
Oh,
hybrids.
they really are though. I really wish people would say that. Like it's one of my huge pet peeves is like somebody will be like, hey, I've got a beautiful gamma, like or I've got a beautiful diamond jungle jag, and it's like okay, but you're calling it a diamond, you're calling it a jungle and a jag. Why isn't it a diamond jungle coastal jag? Right? For some reason, people tend to always remove the pretty animal. Right? I've got a diamond zebra. Okay, but it's not just a diamond. There's another animal that went in there to create this
Yeah,
cross
and
hybrid.
there's
But
probably more too.
I don't get it. I don't get why people don't put everything that it is and call it a hybrid, because it's 100% a hybrid. Just like whenever people talk about alders, and I love the look of all the green tree pythons, but can we call a spade a spade? Like it's not a designer python, it's a designer hybrid, right? Like it is a hybrid. Like the stupid fucking word designer, just call it a hybrid.
Well,
It, it's a green tree
I don't
hybrid.
mind the word designer if it's one of those like if it's the sickness or something like that. Like that is a designer animal, I would say, like because it's almost like how dog breeds are. Like they're either a dog breed or they're like a cross kind of thing, right? Like there's like it's still a dog, but at least a breed has like it's at least kind of elevated a bit. Obviously, I wouldn't say the designer chondros are necessarily their own breed of chondro, but they're they're more refined. I would say it's more of a refined thing. Kind of like eventually, I'm sure Dawn's Stonewash Diamond Jag things will become more of like their own kind of designer carpet thing,
Well, they
as they
are
kind
a
of already
designer,
are.
but they're a hybrid, right? Like and the green
Yeah, that's
trees
true.
are all
So
different,
no,
man.
yeah, no matter how much you like
Yeah.
that snake, I love the sickness. I know exactly what you're talking about. That is a beautiful snake, and everything that comes out of that thing is beautiful. But at the end of the day, it's still
It's
hybrid.
the reason it's
I'm
beautiful is
sorry to
because they're
say
hybrids,
Yeah.
that they are,
right?
but I mean,
That's how you
unfortunately.
get all
But
the
you know
quality.
what? But you know what? Yes, but there is really nice red ones, and the pure stuff is still really nice. Like if you look at the end line, I've seen some of them where they have the really white line or the really blue or some of the blue in there, and I'm pretty sure some of that is
Oh yeah,
not a hybrid, right? It's actually like,
oh yeah. Like you get those
um,
nice sarongs, and then
yeah,
you get
exactly,
the
right?
maniquari, and then Beox, right? Beox naturally,
Yeah,
pretty sure
Yeah,
they
they're
naturally can
gorgeous.
come yellow and green and stuff. Although
They do.
I prefer the just a nice green with a bit of white. Like I think that just having a nice green with a little bit of white is good enough.
So
Jayapura, that's
Yeah,
a nice one too.
yeah.
Got a little bit of blue in it. The sarong roll is
Well, we
pretty
need to
nice.
maybe
Sorry,
we
I
need to
might
bring
not have
Nick
exactly
back
said
on
that
just to
right.
talk
you
about chondro.
we
No, we need to bring
actually
Ryan on.
we haven't had a Condor show. We should plan a Condor show.
Get Ryan
Like
Young to be our chondro
fuck,
guy.
I'm down. I think that would be a lot of fun.
We could hit it. Man, he would be good to
Yeah,
talk about
that would be a good
Apodora and
show.
Timors too.
That would be
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what do you have for sale right now? Just by curiosity, do you have anything?
I got 2.1 Kentucky pines ready to go,
Yeah.
and then I guess if somebody did want a Kenyan sandboa from me, they could hit me up, but they're probably just gonna go to my buddy, and you can buy through Canadian Mouse Man. So he'll have tons to choose from as he has more litters himself producing. So I'll just probably sell most of those to him so he can deal with the majority of the general customers. But yeah, I just have those for now, and then I'm debating if I want to let go the. I have one female Loma Alta Baird's rat snake that I'm debating if I want to let go or maybe try to find a male, but she's kind of getting older and probably needs a cage soon, and I'm not sure how she's gonna fit into the collection kind of thing. So like I'm happy to keep her because she's beautiful, but if somebody was interested in her as a pet or a future breeding project thing, I'd be okay letting her go to the right person. So yeah, not too much, just a few colubrids.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully
fair.
some Bahama boas in a bit, but we'll see.
I hope so. I hope so for you. How about you, Shan? What do you have available?
Still have some ocelot available.
So
There's one
jungles.
ocelot jungle. Yeah, a jungle. Sorry, ocelot jungle carpet pythons. There's one there that's looking really good. I don't know. I might keep it for myself. I don't know. She looks really good. The pattern on it is incredible. really like the more sheds, they just become brighter and brighter. So I'm sure you'll say that. Um, I got super zebras from the same thing from the Favol line. Some Brettles. I have a few that are ready to go. We have some inlands ready to go from Dom soon. Probably another few meals and they'll be ready to go. But there's not a bunch of that. I got some. I got a Sundlow zebra. Some gelatins, lots of those. Um, Obviously, the gray bands will be ready soon too. Um, we're still gonna wait on the pygmies. We're gonna give them another 6 months or so. I just want to make sure. I don't want to be in that predicament where, you know, sell one and then something happens and then I don't want that yet. I want to make sure they're good to go and then we'll go from there. And then from that, I have a few adults left that I would be okay with letting go. I have an albino 100% het for Xanthic, so it's possibly snow, but we'll call it an albino het Xanthic.
I'm pretty sure he's a snow. Looking at how white he is, the more I look at him, I'm pretty sure because older snows look yellow. Like if you listen to the Nick episodes, he talks a lot about how dirty snows are, like how yellow snows are. I'm pretty sure he is a snow, but you can't guarantee it. But keep going, sorry.
That's right. No, totally. Totally agree. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for sale. But apart from like I hadn't finished what the things that I'm gonna breed this year, I got a few other things that are gonna go. Some super caramel and super caramel tiger stuff that I'm gonna pair up with Dominic. I probably have a few females I'm gonna send over to him. And then one female Xanthic, I want to prove her out. So she's Xanthic, 66% het for granite. And he's either Dominic, I'm going to send her over to Dominic, or he's going to send me a male and pair that up.
Papuan?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. But that's about it. That's all I got. So, yeah. We still lots... I have a lot of great gelatins. I'm surprised they're not going.
Do you have pairs of the gelatins, or are they mostly
male?
Oh, nice.
I have a few males that I would let go. I think I have 2 males. So, lots of females.
How many pairs are you doing, Shan?
I don't think we've been counting.
I didn't count. For a sec. Give me a few minutes. I'll start counting.
Okay, so in the meanwhile, Shan, I want to show you something.
Good.
So you're going for that pure marble, and this is a baby for Shan that somehow he still hasn't freaking picked up. So marbles are Xanthics, granites. Look at the color on that thing.
Wow.
That is white on black.
That is beautiful.
So that's what you're going for. So this is Xanthic and granite. Freaking gorgeous. Probably one of the nicest combos. So that's...
So I already have a female that I got last year from Dominic. Was it last year or the year before?
What do you mean, Xanthic granite?
No. So she's granite, 100% het for Xanthic. And you gave her to me last year. So I'm going to pair that male that you're going to give me to that one. So yeah, I can't wait in a little while.
And this is a male for you. So in a year or two, that one will be ready for you.
Yeah, like I said, to that female you gave me last year, she's just packing on the food. Like really loves the food. Like incredible.
So Shan, count how many pairs you have, okay. And while you do that, I'll go on with what I'm doing because I don't know if people know, Shan's probably got the largest collection of us three, and he's got way too many fucking animals. And at some point he's got to pump the brakes because that guy has got too many pairs. I think yeah, because it's one of those things, right? The more you breed, eventually you realize how much is too much, and like I think I've said it in a couple of shows. I've learned my maximum. My 100 is my absolute maximum. My 80 is my comfortable. And this year I had just about 100. The year before I had 137 babies that hatched out, like actual babies. It was fucking horrible. Like, yeah, it sucked. All right, so I'll steal the mic for a bit. So let me bring up my list of pairs. I'm going to try to do this fast. So I've
You made
got
a list.
I do actually because I wanted to know because I'm not going to remember. So, 1.2 inlands. I have my male is a Schofield line. I've got one female that's a Mog. That's going to be the repeat pair from last year. And I've got my other female that is 25% Schofield and 75% UK line, which is a line that isn't anywhere in Canada or the States. So I'll do the 1.2 of those. Then I've got 1.1 diamond. I don't know if you guys saw me take out the reduced pattern female diamond. She's got good size. She's gorgeous. Like her yellow is incredible. And I've got my male to pair up with her. That's the male that's been questionable because he really injured himself. But he's had 3 meals now and he looks like he's fighting back. He's still got a huge chunk in his bottom lip and a gigantic chunk of healed tissue on top of his head. But he's eaten 3 meals in a row now.
Is he getting
So
ready to shed again?
he hasn't shed again. No, he shed
Okay.
once, and
Once he sheds once or twice more, I think he'll
so
heal
he
up a bit.
shed once, but the hole in his head was so big that I tried to peel it a bit and left the skin and that there, and the mouth chunk on the bottom is still there too. So I'm hoping it goes away, but looks like he's doing fine. Chances are I'll have to talk to Shan. He probably already knows. Chances are I'm sending my 2 diamonds to his house just because I can't go low enough, and my wife won't let me put a hole through the house to get cold air to come in. I've tried everything, man. I can't convince her and get her to understand it. It's just a 4-inch hole going outside. For
There's
some
not
reason,
a room in the basement that you can hide them behind some.
there is. I have a cold storage room literally behind that wall. Behind is our cold
How
storage.
cold is that?
It goes to 1 degree Celsius, so like 34, 37
I wish we had
Fahrenheit.
thermostats that could, like, if you just had them on heat, but they set the heat to like 55.
Man,
But
like,
that's still tricky. Like you still kind of want them to warm up during the day.
but I can't
Right? So
put
it's
my animals can't be out of my snake room. So that was the deal with the wife is like animals stay in this one room. So and I can't pierce a
you need to
room.
upgrade the
Uh,
your next once the kids are gone. You need to
uh,
upgrade that house and get yourself a shop.
yeah, one day we'll see. So I've got the diamonds. Then the next one are the 1.2 rough scale pythons. That'll be my first year trying them. The 2 females they're huge. They're both massive. So first year trying those. I've got 1.2 pygmy pythons. Those every year I breed them. Every year they produce, and every year we try to make the babies survive. So we're we're gonna keep going at those, and I'm gonna keep breeding them because they breed every year and they're perfectly healthy. They get fat and plumpy every year. One of them hasn't bounced back as much as I want to, so maybe I'll only do one female this year, but we'll see. And that's about it for non-carpets. Then the carpet pythons, I'm doing. I've got 2.3 jungles. My 2 main males are a super zebra, and the other male is an ocelot zebra. And then I've got 3 females for those. Then I have 2.3 popwins, so popwin carpets. And those, I'm again going for everything that is marble. So I've got proven granite het exanthic, and I've got proven exanthic head granites. So, and it's probably the last year I'm using those because as of next year, after I'm going to be able to do marble to marble, which is pretty freaking cool. So, I've never sold one yet in the country, and I'm curious to see. I've only seen one for sale ever in Canada, and it was $2,500. So we'll see if it's how those are going to go. But I assume that as soon as I breed visual to visual, I don't know if I'm going to crash the market or what, or how many people are going to want those. But I'm thinking maybe I'm
Have,
going to export them out.
have you
What do
thought
you think?
about outcrossing? Have you seen any pop ones to outcross to or no? the
What do you
markers.
mean, like to go to what? Like just a different line?
Just a different line to avoid any possible granite issues that they used to
So
have.
so my pop wins are so outcrossed. I've never ever had one
Okay.
issue with them. So they've all been outcrossed to completely unrelated. I have zero issues with
Okay.
my granites. So all my granites are perfect. Their eyes are perfect. There's zero issue. So that's one of those things where it's just like if I told you like diamond python syndrome, right? We that's been fixed. Just keep them cooler. You're gonna have zero issues with granites as long as you've outcrossed them once or twice to wild populations. You've got zero issues. I've never had any issues with any of my granites that I've ever produced. So I'm not too worried about that. So that's next year though. Except for pop wins, then I've got the coastals. Doing a good amount of coastals this year. My two main breeders are Super Caramel Exanthic, which is that main guy. He's actually featured in the complete carpet python by Nick Mutton. He's in the morph. That guy is gorgeous, and I've got my other male, which is a super hypo tiger, which is also a very desirable male. I'll be breeding one of them to a couple of females from Shan, and the other ones to my females. I've got an exanthic female and a hypo caramel tiger female, and yeah, that's kind of it. So if I look at this, I've got 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. Holy shit. So I've got 16 potential pairings, which is a lot. I don't think I'm going to do all that. Like, obviously, if you look at like the diamonds, I'm not sure she's going to go. The female still don't have a huge head.
You're gonna get like 30 baby roughies. Come on.
Fuck, if I do, I'd be super happy, man. But
I'm only
It
doing
might crash the
11.
market, but it'll still be cool.
did you say 11, Shan?
Yeah.
Damn, so I'm the one who's thinking of doing too many this year. I might have to rethink this.
Cut it down to
And
5.
that's a maybe. That's even including the Brettles. So I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit and really decide because I don't think I want to do 16 pairings. But as a general rule, I'd say 75 to 80% will go. Like if what I pair, that's usually about my percentage. I'll always have two or three that don't go in the pairings, and that's about it. So
Yeah.
that's probably too many babies. But a lot of my females aren't like gigantic females. They push out like 8 to 12 eggs. They don't do. I don't get the 30, 40 egg clutches anymore because my girls aren't overfed and gigantic anymore. So
No McIntyre size clutches.
you a lot of people like you've heard a lot of people talk about how like you're lucky to get like your Nick says it often, you're lucky to get two clutches out of one female, right? Or he'll say things like that. And like the main one jungle I have has popped out now 7 clutches, which is insane. She's had 7 clutches in a row, and her first clutch were in the 40s, second clutch were in the 40s, third clutch was in the high 30s. She's produced more babies than you can imagine. Like it's insane. So, and she's ready to go again this year. She's fucking massive. She's fat. I'd take her out, but she's like psychotic. She'll light us up. So, not a good idea.
No.
Yeah.
That's
What else do
that's a
you guys want to chat
quite a few
about? Other
pairings.
few things, or we coming to an end?
Yeah,
I don't mind. I'm
I
either
think we've
or.
kind of come to an end. But unless Shan, do you have anything you want to talk about that you're excited about this year? Like, what's your most excited pairing you're looking forward to next year, Shan?
Well, so definitely the Ivory's Eye. That's definitely always the top ones. Excited to try to get the warmers back up. Um, but I think not this year, but next year I'm going to try the scrubs. I really,
Oh yeah, I was
I
gonna ask
can't,
about that.
can't wait.
Those would be cool.
These things are like, I don't know. So this is my scrub experience. Um, so these guys are pretty friendly. They're, I mean, when you pick them up, all they want to do is shit on you. Sorry to say that. Seriously, they just piss and shit everywhere. That's the thing I
Sounds
don't
like
really like
teamwork
about them.
pythons.
I just don't really like them for that. The people that say that they're really aggressive and like go at you and go to bite you, I've never seen that out of that. They've most of the time wanted to escape away from me and shit all over me and try to like spread it all over me, all over my hands. It just makes a big mess. It's terrible. Like the slightest little movement to move them from one container to the next, like without stress, and they'll still shit themselves. And I'm like, or piss themselves. And I'm like, really? And it's like I put them back in the new container that's all nice and clean. And it's like immediately kind of get it all dirty again, right? Um, Apart from that, when you introduce food, wow, like they are so quick, like so quick, right up to the glass, like they almost want to go through the glass, like I don't know how to explain it. Such a different movement than a carpet python. So like they're more like stringy and um yeah, like most of them hide in the upper hide boxes for me. Like some
Which
of them say they hide in the trees, but mine hide in the upper boxes and just wait for food. And
death
they'll
row
take
those.
down they will take down a full size rat. That's how big they are. And like the male is about a little over, I'd say about 7, and then the female is about 4. I'd
Okay.
say. What do you think, Dom? Hey,
Like 4 feet.
yeah.
I think they're longer than that. They're just deceivingly long and
Yeah.
skinny. They're like such long ropes. Like, um,
Which subspecies did
so
Steven say they were again?
they're
Or
initially
species?
he when he saw the pictures from Shan, which I think he didn't have the greatest pictures. He named them as Tannenbars, which we were super excited, but they're not. They
Oh,
are
they're just
axanthic, patternless Marukis. So
okay.
basically, one of the more common ones, and the most common phenotype of the Marukis are axanthic patternless, which I still think it's
That's still
cool.
pretty
They're
cool.
gorgeous.
That's cool.
So they're a pair that Shan and I basically traded a pair of Angolan babies for, and we were happy because we wanted to move the Angolans, and it gave us something different. And they're long-term
Well,
captives.
that's a cool trade.
Yeah, it was a good trade. I was happy. I think we probably we now that we know what they were priced at when they were imported, we were definitely on the losing end of that trade. But
Yeah.
you know what?
They
It
don't
cost us
always come
nothing.
in either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gorgeous, and they're just animals I can't keep because I'm not allowed here. So Shan's the one that's going to keep him. Shan's the one that's going to breed him. And when he has success, I'll say, well, I kind of bred them, but I didn't because they weren't here, and I'm going to have nothing to do with it. So,
I
but
get to look at the babies.
Hey, I'm probably going to ask you for some guidance, or hey, what do you think about this? Or you'll
I've
come
never
over and
bred
be like,
scrubs. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I know, but some you always have a good idea some way somehow sometimes.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure Kush
when
has
you
some
come
good
by,
insights.
when you come to somebody's room and be like, do this, do that, give them this, you know.
He's making me
I don't know.
sound like I just tell him what to do all the time.
Maybe a little bit.
Cracks the whip out.
What about you, Michael? What's your most desirable pair?
I think, well, for new pairs, definitely the black milks, because they're like the only new one, and I've been raising them up for a long time. Like I've had that male since 2019, so he's been waiting for a while, and I got that female back in 2022, so I've been raising her up for a while now. So way cool to finally get the black milks, because they hatch out because they're like a cooler species.
White
They
and
take
black, right?
well, they hatch out like normal milks, but like a fairly good size compared to normal milks. Because these milks get 6 feet or so, they get a good size, and by the time they're 18 months to 2 years old, they're jet black. You might see some like really faint like bands almost in the black, but not really. But yeah, no, they're cool. They're bulletproof, and you can't go wrong with a black milk snake because they never bite either. They're literally like they have an insane food response, but you can if you pick them up, like I've never been bitten. You just pick them up and they're chill. They're a little active, but they're yeah. It's just weird having like a milk or king snake that doesn't bite at all. It's super cool. Yeah, no, looking forward to those. And then Rosies would be cool too. But yeah, and then obviously like the I guess all everything I'm breeding, I'm really excited about because I chose a more kind of narrowly focused collection on what I really want to keep. So I really want to breed what I keep, kind of thing. So I think in that aspect I like what I've chosen. But yeah, What about you, Dom?
For me, I think it's not going to be carpets because I've done them so many times. I've got a little thing. Inlands was last year, but I finally produced them, which was a huge accomplishment for me anyway. And this year, I'd say the two most desirable would be, of course, the diamonds and the roughies. But I'll be honest, I think diamonds are number one. So diamonds are like probably my favorite species right now. I I'll be honest, I don't think she's gonna go. Like she's a fuck. Of course, the label's not on there. I think she's 5 years old, but every year I look at her and her head hasn't grown. Man, her head isn't huge, so I don't think she's gonna go. I really hope she does because she's 5 years old. Like she's ready. And you could see her when I took her out. She's still got some girth. I think she could produce a small clutch. So that's my number one desirable. Again, maybe I'm just being negative and trying to say that it's not going to work and hope that it does. But I do think the roughies have a good chance, and it'd be
But
pretty
if they're
cool.
at my place, but if they're at my place, then that means you're not breeding them. That
Nope,
means I'm breeding them.
just so we're clear, they're going to stay at my place. I'm going to cool them down all the way to 60. At that point, I'm not going to be able to bring it down. I'll be like, Shan, they're going to your place. I'm going to send them to Shan. He's going to bring them down to 50, torture them for a little bit. For about a month and a half, he's not going to pair them because I won't let him. And then I'll go back, I'll take him and then bring him back to 60, and then I'll start pairing. So they will be gone for about a month and a half. And for people, like when you're thinking about like quarantine, all that kind of stuff, our animals are interchangeable. Let's be honest. Shan and I's collection have so much mixing that if he's got something, I've got something, and we just have accepted that our collection is bound together. So I'm not too worried about quarantine between Shan and I's place. So I still consider it mine because you're not going to put those things together at your house. They're going to come back to mine. You're just going to help me cool.
Okay, you taking my mail back with you?
Your mail? Well, it all depends on how well my mail's doing.
Oh yeah, you gotta
Uh,
combat those too. Actually, no,
His
that's probably a terrible idea with him right now.
So the thing is that Shan's male is much more. He's more of a whiter male, right? He's more of a white on black.
uh, so he's got the yellow on the top and the white on the sides.
Yeah. So my male is like green, like fluorescent green. So
But mine's one of a kind.
Hey,
Maybe you guys should just use Shan's male and your female, and then you don't have to worry about something going wrong with your male.
So the reason why I'm saying that is because when I got this male, I was supposed to get a male and female of them, but there was only one, so I got a 2022 diamond. So he's Casper London Zoo line. So yeah, very excited about that.
yeah, and I mean
Different.
it's definitely different, and I'd love for you to produce them. I want to try to go for the high yellow, high green diamonds. That's the look I prefer. I've seen some like crazy.
I've seen some white ones are just insane.
They're amazing, right? But breeding your male has a lot more whites. But breeding that white with my yellow reduced pattern zebra makes no sense. I feel like we're not going to get you're going to get a mush of both, right? So it's I feel like if you have a high white, you really want to find a high white female. If you have a high yellow, high green, you kind of want to stick to those colors. So don't get me wrong. If my male sucks, we're definitely throwing yours in there. There's no question about it because pure diamonds are pure diamonds. And they're so rare here that fucking like without a doubt I'd do it.
My buddy Chris is in the chat, and him and Tyrone. I think they used to know a guy in Calgary that bred diamonds and sold them for like $200 10 years, 15 years ago.
So
they're all kicking themselves for not getting any.
I'm not going to go too much in detail, but there is one clutch of diamonds that is produced in Canada. It is in an incubator, and I'm not going to say the names. I'm not going to even say what it is, but it will be if it goes through.
About this at the show.
Yeah. Well, you were there with us when I was talking about it. So this guy is like I'm just jealous. Like he's only got like 5 or 6 eggs. I think maybe even up to 7. But
how are they doing?
As far as I know, they're perfect. I haven't talked to him in about a week, but they should be due to hatch anytime. And That would be the first diamonds produced in Canada in 7 or 8
At least
years.
five,
At
6 years, I think.
least, because
Yeah.
Aslam and Dom Patterson are the only ones, the last people that produce them. And Aslam has not had
So like
diamonds in
18.
something like that.
Yeah.
And Don hasn't done diamonds, like pure diamonds, in a really long time. So
Yeah. For some
it's
reason, I
been
thought I saw a couple years ago that Don produced a couple, but then
no,
he kept them all or
no, because
something.
I've been on Don's
Yeah.
back
Oh,
forever trying
yeah.
to get them. So I can tell you it's been over 5 years, if not more. Because I just they're gorgeous,
I
right?
feel
You go
like
to
those would
this.
sell way better than other carpet stuff, anyways, if you
See,
just bred
you
pure
say that,
diamonds.
but if you talk to Michael Islam that used to produce them, he got out of them because he couldn't sell them. He was saying nobody wanted them. He just grew tired of producing nice animals that
Well,
nobody
if
wanted.
you
And
don't advertise that you have them and how much they are, then it's kind of hard to sell them.
they're his.
Not everybody's going to spend two plus $1,000 on an animal either,
Yeah,
right?
but that's also the market, though, right? Like if that's not the market, then that's not the market, and we gotta adjust the price a little bit to reflect that. But either way, even if they were a $750, $800 animal, that's not the end of the world. That's still a pretty good price for an animal kind of thing. Obviously, if you guys breed them, they're not going to be that cheap, and they shouldn't be because nobody else has them. But yeah, no, it's I think that's where people need to, like, certain people need to realize and adjust kind of thing, because not because we do have a more limited market up here. But if you're able to sell them overseas for $2,000 a piece, then I guess
Well,
that's what
so
has to happen.
just so everybody understands, that guy that we're talking about is like the only one in a long time, like you said, at least five
Oh yeah,
plus years, right? Dom and I had to go out of the country to figure out. We couldn't even get them in from UK Pythons. Doesn't sell any of that. We had to go to Germany to Star Python and purchase them from there.
yeah. Actually,
So
I think
to
I saw
think
that
of that,
So
they're
yeah,
doing another
yeah,
import.
so the funny thing is, after we bought some from him, then he's like, "Oh my, I guess I can sell some in Canada. There's none there," because we
right?
talked to him about it. So now he advertised and he's going to try to get a shipment, and which again is freaking funny because we kind of alerted them to the fact that Canada has no diamonds and we'd be interested. Now he's probably going to try to get
Yeah,
multiple, and then again, not a bad thing, man. I think we should have
yeah,
more. So if he manages to bring 5, 6, 7 diamonds in here from other people, not a bad thing.
But getting back to it, that's how hard it is to get. So yes, it's not a $750 snake.
yeah.
Like try to find it anywhere, right? Like I would have easily paid $750. I'd have probably paid you $1,000 for one if you had one, because the import fees and like just getting it over here. Maybe not the import fees,
So
but
it
just getting it over here, and then the market of that. We paid euro money too.
Yeah, so I think they cost give or take right now, and if you look at the price that Star
I think
Python's
it's
this one,
two.
it's
They're
around
asking
two
for two.
thousand Canadian, give or take. So by the time you factor in the shipping, all that kind of stuff, maybe a little bit more, but 2,000 for a normal and the reduced pattern, you're looking at about double the price of that. So
Yep.
and yeah, so I went for the reduced pattern. I just they're one of my favorite morphs, so I think it's
Yeah, and now
gorgeous. So
you'll probably make a bunch.
well, we'll see. We'll see, right? Who knows?
They're all the same.
Sometimes you invest in animals that never produce for you. Like I think that the
Yeah,
biggest expense I have ever done was a snow carpet, and that male never produced. Got him to like 6 years old, would never ever breed anything, wouldn't go anywhere near anything, and then mysteriously died one day. And that was my biggest expense. And I had a snow carpet like 8 years ago when they were worth a shit ton of money. And that one never produced and never made me money and never saw a return on it. But other animals, like
yeah.
you look at some animals you spend $500 on and you've probably made 10 grand off of that animal from the amount of babies it pushes
Or
out, right? So
even like my sandboas, I paid back 2011, 2012 when I bought them. I think I paid $60 for the male I have. That's a head anery, and the anery female I bought the next year for like $80 as like a subadult. And now sandboas go for 200 to 300 ish, in that range. I think right they drop down to, I think aneries kind of drop down to 250 now. And normals are still going for 200 a piece.
yeah,
So like they've it's weird how like stuff has risen and kind of held at that like kind of nice, like I think that it's in that number of something that like a pet owner is still going to spend generally in that anywhere from 100, but usually $100 animals go to more first time keepers, honestly. But then you get that 2 to 500 range, I would say 2 to 4 maybe, and that's like the then kind of that next step people seem to like to spend money on. But then they maybe think a little bit more if they're going to spend more than that. But they're for the most part people seem comfortable spending in that range for something that they really want.
It's just nice when you make your money back on investment. Like Shan and I had bought that trio of Angolans. We paid $3,000 for the trio, which was a pretty damn good price. And one of the females was too young; the other one was an adult. And I mean, we've produced 3 clutches in total from them, or is it more? I don't know, 3 or 4. And we've definitely made our money because every baby sold for about $800, and then we sold the trio back for 3,000. So, and they were another 4 or 5 years older than when we got them, but they're still of breeding age and still able to do it, right? So, some projects just do well, and then you grow tired of them, you move them on, and other ones, man, you wonder, like, am I ever going to see that money? Like that reduced pattern female, it's the most expensive animals I've ever paid for. She never produces. She might not. You never know, right? Like, I'm not counting my eggs before they hatch.
But
so.
did you spent snake money on her?
I mean, that one was actual cash, but I used cash
Yeah.
that was made from selling snakes.
Yeah.
But like
So
the male diamond, I didn't even spend cash. I did a trade. It came from Don from one of his last pure diamonds that he had held back, and I sold an undisclosed amount of jungle carpet babies for her. I traded snakes for multiple jungle carpets for one snake, and you know what? I love that. Like, to me, like baby carpets are just they're just snakes. Like, you produce a lot of them.
I've traded
So
litters of sand boas for stuff too, and it's
Yeah.
like I would do that any day.
oh, anytime.
I
Like,
didn't have to pay anything.
Right.
Just
it's
ship it.
it's not real money at that point. It's just animals for sell 15 animals to get one more expensive animal, and I've done that so many times. Like the roughies is the same story. I didn't pay cash for those roughies, and I did trades again, and I'm happy to do that every single time. I'll trade 20 babies for really expensive snakes, and it's the best currency ever.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think later on when we talk to Clint, it'll be really cool to talk to him about the market stuff, because like I know he has info has the statistics and stuff on how shows are doing and how Morph Market's doing and that, and it's kind of cool how I see after being to 3 shows in a row up here from across the country and seeing kind of similar things in terms of attendance, but then also stuff moving. It's kind of interesting how it's kind of similar across the board throughout North America. So yeah.
So I'm curious to see. I'm going to re-listen to this show at least 15 minutes here or there because I want to see how clear and how good it is. Because I'm thinking moving on, we might want to consider starting to do every show live. Because think of it, no more editing. It is what it is. People can ask questions in the chat at the same time. I don't know.
This is being recorded too, though, so like I can go back and edit stuff off this too. So we can always.
So right now,
right now it is live, and I think it will stay live on YouTube. But I can go back and edit it, and then I'll release it on the podcast. So this won't be released right away to the podcast. I still have to go and.
Yeah, but what do you do? There's not really that much to edit, right?
All I do, honestly, is just add the captions, even though I don't think people really watch it on Spotify or whatever. So, but that's all I really do is just add the captions thing and double check that the audio sounds good, and then I just pick random spots in it and make sure it kind of lines up, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that being said, guys, I think we should shut it down soon because we got to start another podcast in an hour and a half for us.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Hey.
Yeah, Shan,
appreciate it.
Drop your lines. How do people contact you?
Shan Melanson on Facebook. You can messenger me or Instagram. I do TikTok too, but usually it's just Shan Melanson.
You're too old for TikTok. Come on.
I don't even have TikTok.
I do videos. I do videos, and it's cool, man. You just send a video, and I don't know.
He dances and twirls around a snake on his finger for TikTok.
That's it. Yes, fun times. Hey, I'll do anything to try to get some people attracted to the snakes and right. But yeah, no. So Shan Melanson. I also have a Snake Frenzy, but no website to say anything. Yeah, nothing good there.
Alrighty, Dom, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so for me, it's Dom's Reptiles is my website. Not updated at all, but you've got my contact information. On Facebook, it's my name. You can see it on the screen, Dominic Catlano. For Reptile Rejects, like everybody, like we always say, man, guys, please click the little like button. Click anything you can. Follow us, subscribe. Any of the viewership helps. Thanks to the couple of people that did log on there in the chats. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Sean. Yeah,
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
I see that.
And
And thanks,
Michael,
guys.
for you, why don't you close it up this time? Give your information. Let's get out of here.
Alrighty. People can hit me up on Facebook at my name, Michael Gillen. They can also, I have a personal Instagram. That's also my name, Michael Gillen. And then you can also, if you reach out through the Reptile Rejects Instagram, I'm the one behind it. So it'll also go directly to my Instagram inbox as well. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or any suggestions for future guests, we are booked up for the next month or two, but we're always glad to hear suggestions for who everybody wants to listen to in the future. So
Who is it tonight, guys?
Clint Bartley from Med Exotics and the
Nice.
Colubrid Radio. Sorry, for some
Nice.
reason I was like Joe in my head, but no.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting show. But just so everybody knows, whenever we record, we tend to release 1 week later.
Yes.
So right now,
Absolutely.
this will probably go tonight because we were missing a show because the Dr. Whitman's show is a bit screwed up with timing, and we're still trying to fix it. And Michael will fix it because I believe in him. And and so the show from Clint tonight will air next Sunday, and we're going to try to do it like that unless we start going live, which we'll chat about. It all depends on how well tonight works. Cool. Well, thanks, Michael. Thanks, Shan. Everybody, thanks
Again, thanks, guys.
Yep. And
Thanks, everyone.
everybody have a great night, and we'll see.